Oh, I'm having flashbacks to last year. Share screen. We did actually do stuff online. I just don't think people paid attention. All right. All right, here we go. Y equals mx plus b. Why do I not see the red rectangle that shows me I'm recording my screen? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, the y, oops, represents y. It doesn't represent anything else. The y means the y value, okay? That's whatever the y value is what y is. The m represents what? Does anybody remember? That's all correct. It's a slope. And you also will see it a lot of times as a fraction, sometimes a whole number. I don't know why it's an m. I like to think about the Winter Olympics and mountain, right? And a mountain starts with M, and a mountain has a slope, a ski slope, right? I don't know. Why do you think of the Olympics? Because the Winter Olympics are on right now. Okay. So when you ski down, a mountain, there's a slope. The M is mountain. I have no idea. I don't know why it's an M, but it is. I'm just making things up. So you'll remember it. Okay. The X is the X. That's the X value. And then the B, anybody remember? That's where it's placed on the y-axis. It's the what, Piper? It's like placed on the y-axis. Yeah, we call that the y-intercept. What's the name of this form called? This y equals mx plus b? Slope-intercept form. It's named because that's what you find in it, the slope and the intercept. Remember, the y-intercept, okay, is where the line crosses the y-axis. This is the y-intercept. Okay? Okay. All right. What we are going to do this unit is find equations of lines given a slope and an intercept, given a graph. Then we're going to be given slope and a point on the line. And then we're also going to find it when we just know 2 points on the line. So a lot of different ways to find equations in slope-intercept form. All right. First thing you know, if you know a slope and the y-intercept, it's very easy because they give you the slope and they give you the y-intercept. So what you're going to do is write down your formula, which is y equals mx plus b. I would just suggest you write it down every time so you know where to plug things in. Slope is 4, so that's your m. So instead of m, I'm going to write 4. Y-intercept is 3. That's your negative 3. Sorry, that's your b. So instead of b, I'm going to write negative 3. Here's the last step that some of y'all need to pay attention because you're going to do it wrong. Please do not write different things for x and y. You literally write y, an equal sign, and then an x, and you're done. And for it to be an equation, it needs a y, an x, and an equal sign. Okay? All right. The number next to the x is the slope. So if I gave you another example and I said y equals negative 1/2 x plus 7, what's the slope of that line, Jeremy? Negative 1/2 is the slope. Okay? And understand that when I say negative 1/2, that's the same as negative 1/2 or 1/2. One of those numbers is negative, not both. Y'all hear me read? What did I just say? He was listening. Okay, good. Why is that important? Because if you think both are negative, that actually makes it positive, right? So only one of the numbers is negative. Then your y-intercept would be what? What's my y-intercept? Audrey? Yeah, give me the ordered pair. It's a hard one. Sorry.
7, 0.
Other way. 0, 7. Yeah. So at the y-intercept, the x is always 0. The x-intercept, y is 0. Okay? So my y-intercept would be 0, 7. So a lot of information can be found out from just an equation. All right. And here the y-intercept would be 0, -3, right? That would be what that means. But what we're looking for is the actual equation itself. That's the answer. All right, next one. If we are given a graph, we can find the equation. We know we need a slope and we know we need a y-intercept. So in looking at a graph, well, the easiest thing to find first is the y-intercept. Look at the graph. It goes through right there at 3. So my b is going to be +3. That's easy. Now, can we find the slope from a graph? Who knows how to do that? Who's going to help me? All right, Charlie, I saw your hand first.
First you have to find like a value or where the line goes through the corner.
Good, where it goes through the grid lines, right? Good. So what 2 points am I going to look at?
0, 3.
Okay.
And then 2, 0.
Good. Okay. All right. Now what do I do?
Then you count down how many, and then count over how many.
Okay. So down this way.
Yeah.
That's down 3. So what does that mean?
That means rise is 3. So the numerator is 3.
Okay. And then what?
And then you go over 2.
So the run is 2. Okay, so slope is, have y'all heard this before? Rise over run. Okay, here's the trick. If you go up or right on the graph, that number is a positive number. Okay? So when I'm counting like we just did, and I go up or right, that's positive. If I go left or down, I should call that a negative number. So what's wrong with what we just wrote on the graph? What do we need to fix?
You need to make it a negative.
The 3, right, the 3 should be negative because we went down. Okay? Now, could we go the other side of this and go up and then over? Yeah, because you get +3 and -2. You can go either direction. But you have to put the rise on the top, or the fall, right? However far up and down. And then the run goes on the bottom. Okay? All right, now what that gives us is a slope of -3 halves. Again, one of those is negative. It doesn't matter which one. Questions about that? Yeah.
Why didn't you count both from the point? Like one of them was counting down from the point, and one of them was counting to the right to the point.
Well, so I start at one point and I have to get to the other point.
Okay.
So that's why. But what I was saying is you can go from either point to the other point, I guess. Because if I went from the bottom one up here, this would give me negative, this would give me 3 over -2, which is the same as -3 over 2. I think, is that kind of answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Please do not count slope from a point that you're not sure is on the grid lines, okay? If you have to, if I take a point up here and I count all the way from that point to this point, because that's the only way I can see where it touches the line, I will still get the same answer. Did you know that? I will get down 6 and right 4. Well, guess what -6/4 is? -3/2. It still gives you the same slope. So if you're not sure if the point is touching where it's supposed to be touching, use a point that you know for sure is touching the right spot. All right. So back to our equation. We now have our slope, which is -3/2. And then again, we write our y, we write our x, and we have our equation. Questions? Okay. Next one is, what if we don't have the graph? And what if we don't have the y-intercept? Good news, we have the slope. Bad news, we don't have any other information except for this ordered pair. What does this ordered pair tell us? What does -5 mean in 6? Those are what kind of values? In an ordered pair, what's the first value represent? X, right? So that's our X, and guess what? That's our Y. So we actually have a lot of information that we can fill in. So when we have our equation, Y equals, what is it? M, not all at once, mx plus b. Now we have a Y, which is 6. We have an M, which is -2. Do we have an X value? Yup, -5. And we don't have a B. We have to solve for B. But if we only have one variable left, we can solve for that variable. So we're plugging in M, X, and Y. Then we can solve for B. So we just multiply. 6 equals 10 plus B. So B equals -4. So now we write our equation, y equals, we plug in our slope, -2. We put the x. And then we put the y-intercept, which we just found is -4, so -4. Okay? Yes?
Should you put the -2/1?
You can, but I don't want you to. I want you to know that's what it means, but we don't put it. But I wouldn't count it off. It's just extra letters, numbers. All right, last way to do it. What if they don't give you the slope at all? They just give you 2 points on the line. Well, we know that we need a slope and we need a y-intercept. You have to find the slope first. If only there were a formula that you could use to find slope. Dang. What's up, Charlie?
Is the formula like big over small or something?
That's scale factor? No, but you're right. There is a formula. If anybody actually remembers it, that would be helpful. What is it? Lindsay?
Isn't it like y1 minus y2 or like y2 minus y1?
Something like that. Yeah.
And then x2 minus y2.
So what goes on top or bottom?
I think it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1.
What do y'all think? Does that look right? That's right. Look at that. Pull that out of the archives. Nice. The reason is the y values give you the rise, right? The y's tell you how far it's gone up or down. The x's give you the run. Please write this down on your paper. Ryder, did you already write it down? Okay. Did you put slope equals? Make sure you put m equals, so you know what the formula is for. Did y'all learn this last year or the year before? I feel like this is definitely 7th or 8th grade math, maybe 8th grade. All right, now we got a formula. Sweet. So look at these points here, and we can call this x1. This is y1. This is x2, and this is y2. So now we can plug those in and find the slope. So we can say -4 minus 1 over 9 minus 3. Connor, what's -4 minus 1?
-4 minus 1, -4.
Boom. Okay. And 9 minus 3 is 6. So guess what? That's our slope. We're halfway there. We can now go plug that in to our equation form, right? mx plus b. We have the m. -5/6. Now, how do we find b? Well, we do it the same way we just did it on the last section, because now we have the slope. So we can plug in y and x. Which ordered pair should we use for x and y, or does it matter? Sorry, I was yawning. Did somebody say something? Which one do we use? It doesn't matter. Which one should we use? Which one do y'all like better?
3.
Yeah, I like 3-1 because the numbers are smaller. There's no negative, right? So I would use this one if it were me. So what you do is you plug it in. 1 is y, x is 3, and then we are going to have to solve for b. All right. Fractions times a whole number. Do we remember how to do that? Top times top. Bottom times bottom. Okay, so 1 equals -15 over what? 6. Now we need to solve for b. What do we do to get b by itself? Claire? To both sides, right? Yeah, I add 15 over 6 to both sides. Do we remember how to add fractions? What if I gave you this without a calculator? How do we add that? Yeah, I turn this into a fraction with the same denominator, so I can add them. So this would be 6 over 6. 6 plus 15 is 21 over 6 equals b. Good, Kate. Now I write y equals, where's my slope? -5/6 x plus 21 over 6. That's my answer. Questions? All right, next part. What if the line goes through 1, 3, and 4, 3? All right, everybody graph that. Graph a line on this drawing here that goes through 1, 3, and 4, 3. All you need is 2 points to make a line, right? All right, Jalen, what did you notice about this line? They have the same y value, right, which is 3. What's the slope of this line, Connor? Yep. Oh, we didn't go over that in the warm-up, did we?
No.
My bad. I forgot about that part. All right, we can do this now. Whoop. Alex, your turn. Which line has a positive slope?
D.
Yeah, D. Okay, because it's going up. It's like you're climbing the mountain. Negative slope, Connor. Which one has a negative slope? Yeah. It's like you're going downhill. Slope of 0, Davis. Which one? Nope. It's C. Okay. 0, it's flat, right? Hey. Yeah, that's fine. We're just doing some math. No worries. It's a flat line, right? There's no incline, right? It's like a 0. I don't know. What would y'all say? It's like if you were skiing, you would be going up or down, right? Just flat. Okay. That's the slope of 0. And then the last one is B, undefined. If you tried to ski on that, what would happen? What would happen? You fall off. You fall off. It's undefined. Okay, it has no slope. You have a question?
Very quickly,
Yeah.
Sal said that you were smelling something.
It's gone today. It was probably whatever they put new stuff in there, and then yeah.
He rewired some things.
Okay.
I told Sal that I was gonna be here this morning looking at some other stuff. So
Yeah.
I would check with you to make sure. When I talked to the tech, he said that there should be nothing that you would have smelled. It's the only thing it could have been that he thought of. Might just simply be the short amount of time that the heat was not on, the burners were not going. Is it, kind of when the change of seasons?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
All
probably
of a
what it
sudden you
was.
get that initial
Yeah.
smell of that thing clinking up. He said that's the only thing he could think of, was there was nothing in his mind
Okay.
that he thought would have caused it.
Okay, and it wasn't. It was gone by this morning,
Okay.
so that's probably what it was.
Just tell him if you notice anything.
Okay.
Obviously, I think there's maybe some more to this
Yeah.
because the wires have burnt twice.
Well, yeah, he just replaced them
Right,
a couple days before.
right.
Yeah.
And that was my word to the tech. I said, don't be surprised if I call you again. I'm not saying that's gonna happen.
No, but I wouldn't be
But
shocked
odds
either.
are
Yeah.
that it's something else.
Right.
They're gonna have to dig deeper.
Right. That's causing that to
Right.
short out.
So
Yeah.
just to let you know that
Okay.
I understand that.
Okay.
The first indication that Sal knows, and
So they replaced the same wiring, like those 2 times, basically.
it was the same general spot, but he replaced more.
Okay.
Because I asked him specifically about that.
Yeah. Well, the first time he replaced it, it only lasted like a day.
Well, that was Fulton County School Tech.
Right.
Initial look, oh, these are burning,
And just okay.
put them back together, kind of shade them back a little bit. put them
Right.
back together. This guy did a little bit more.
Okay.
For what that was.
Yeah.
He did a little bit more because of me telling him about what happened the first time.
Okay.
Maybe it's fixed. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm not a technician.
No, I got you.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna keep an eye.
I'll enjoy it while it's
Let
on.
us, let us know.
Okay, I will. Thank you. Because it was really cold in here. Like with these walls are pretty thin. Yeah.
Everybody loves them because of the kind of the freedom being out here rather than in the.
It's nice. Yeah.
But they have their issues.
I know. Yeah.
Especially when they're 22 years old.
I know. I got these floors put in a few years ago, so that was nice.
Yeah.
They had carpet that was 20 years
Oh,
old.
yeah. Oh,
Hmm.
I know.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so back to, that was the heat guy, I don't know. So basically he just said if it breaks again, he's not gonna be surprised. All right. I said, yeah, me either. All right, so we have here a slope of what? What's the slope of this line? 0. Stop talking about me. I'm right here. Who are y'all talking about? Like, she's this. She's this. I'm so popular. Why are you so obsessed with me? All right, come on, eraser. All right, slope is 0. I'm just joking, y'all. All right, slope is 0. Does anybody know the equation of this line? An equation has an equal sign.
It's a y equals 0, x plus 3.
All right, it is y equals.
Y equals 0 plus 3.
No, so the slope is 0. Reed, you with us? The slope is 0, so if you say y equals 0x, right, that's pretty much, you don't need that part. What does y equal? 3. What does it equal on the other point? 3. Y is always 3. Y equals 3. That's the line. Any point on that line, y equals 3. Direction of the line, it's called a horizontal line. And guess what's in the middle of it? A z. Because it has a slope of 0. Isn't that cool? All right. That's why they pay me the big bucks. All right, let's graph this line. 1, 3 and 1, 5. All right. Now we have this kind of line. That's not horizontal, that is vertical. And we just talked about this. The slope is undefined. I'm assuming y'all are all writing this down, right? Okay. What's the equation of the line? You can.
Y equals undefined.
If that's y equals a number, wouldn't a vertical line not be the same? Yeah, x equals. What does x equal? 1, 1, 1. That's it. So to recap, a horizontal line always has the equation y equals a number. A vertical line is x equals a number because x is always that same number on that line. Got it? All right, last thing to talk about is parallel and perpendicular. Sophia Wagner, what do you know about parallel lines? What do you mean they're equal?
Not equal, but like, I don't know how to explain it. They never touch, but they're also just like parallel.
They're parallel. Look, I just drew the symbol for parallel. They never touch, but they have the same what? Slope. They have the same slope. That's why they never touch, because they slant at the same number, right? So parallel lines will have the same slope. Now, let's get a little more in depth here. Mason Smith, what do you know about perpendicular lines?
It's the 2 lines that form right angle.
Okay, this is the symbol, right? They form right angles. But we need to know about their slopes. Does anybody know about perpendicular lines and their slopes? I'm guessing no. They are opposite reciprocals. What is that? Opposite reciprocal slopes. Opposite reciprocal slopes are slopes that are opposite and flipped. So if I say 2 is the slope, if I need a line perpendicular to that line, it's going to have a slope of -1/2. It's like 2/1, and then you flip it. Okay? So those would be perpendicular to each other. Let's try another one. What if I said the slope is 1/5? What would be the opposite reciprocal to that? So -5. Yep. Those would be perpendicular lines. Let's try another one. -3/4. What's the opposite reciprocal of that? 4/3. Good. All right, now I want you to do the following. I want you to multiply 2 times -1/2 and 1/5 times -5 and -3/4 times 4/3. Go ahead and multiply all those. See what you get. Top times top, right? Bottom times bottom. This is -2/2, which is what? Okay, what about this one? Okay, what about this one? We got the same thing every time? Good, because you're supposed to. What do you notice here? When you multiply opposite reciprocal slopes, what do you always get? -1. That's how you prove they're opposite reciprocals. Their product. Oh. My computer just did something weird. Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. So all that was to help with this next part, if this will work. What they're going to ask you to do is they'll give you a line, and they want you to find another line that's parallel or perpendicular to that line. Okay? So, first one says, it's not working. Find the equation of the line that is parallel to y equals 2x plus 4 and goes through the point -6, 3. So when you see parallel and you see this line here, you're going to look at this slope and know that if it's parallel, we want the same slope for our line. So our slope is going to be 2. But we need to find the y-intercept, right? We need a slope and the y-intercept. So when we write our equation, y equals mx plus b, we can fill in what we know. We fill in the 2. We fill in the x and the y. And we solve for b. So -6 equals 6 plus b. Subtract 6 from both sides, you actually get -12 equals b. So y equals 2x minus 12 would be the equation. The equation of a line that is parallel to y equals 2x plus 4. And goes through that point that they gave us. Oh, I did it backwards, didn't I? Good catch. Yeah, you're right. I did it backwards. Did y'all see that? I'm glad I did that because that's important. Somebody else is going to do that too. -6 is x, so I should have put it right there, but I put 3. Who caught that? Wagner? Good catch. All right, we got to redo it. Y'all redo it. Put the right numbers in. Let's see what you get. Everybody actually do it instead of just waiting for me to do it, Ryder. Wake up. This thing, oh, how to erase. Wagner, would you like a piece of chocolate? Is that the bell? Oh, I got so excited. Okay, we'll finish this tomorrow. Homework is in OneNote. You should be able to do all of it. I can't stop the meeting.